If you were the popular kid in high school, then chances are you've probably never had your heart broken. If you didn't have any enemies back in the day, it probably means that you never made any. We all know that being popular is not always as fun as it looks. But there's another side to the story that many of us don't often think about. The popular kids get good grades and have tons of friends, but they also grow up with a healthy amount of manipulation skills. You see, if you want to be popular in school, you'll need to understand human psychology. You'll need to learn how to talk to people, how to make them feel things, and how to convince them to do certain things. And the more popular you get, the more these skills will develop. But even though this might work great for getting people to like you when you're young, it can end up creating serious problems later in life, especially in relationships. A lot of people who were the popular kids in school grow up with some really toxic habits, mostly because they're completely unaware that their partners are not their friends. So if you grew up as the popular kid in school, here are 7 toxic habits that you may have developed because of it. Number 1. You struggle with empathy. It's no secret that you can't be popular without being able to understand other people's feelings and use them against them. Okay, that last part was a joke. But the fact still stands that you need to be able to understand where someone is coming from in order to be popular. This comes with understanding their feelings, their fears, their hopes and dreams, and everything in between. So if you spent most of your time trying to figure out what made people tick, there's a chance that you might have grown up with very little empathy. When you don't know someone well enough, you might just say whatever comes to mind or do whatever you feel like doing, which can end up hurting those around you. No. 2. You have a hard time saying no. Have you ever met someone who couldn't say no? They agree to every single thing that you ask them to do, even if they've already made plans with someone else. They're the type of person who would drop everything for you at the drop of a hat. These types of people are called pleasers, and they usually have one of 2 reasons for doing what they do. Either they're afraid of confrontation, or they were rewarded for doing so in the past. Popular kids are the complete opposite. They have no trouble saying no, and they won't be afraid of confrontation if it means that they'll be able to save face. No. 3. You have low self-esteem. It's no secret that most popular kids struggle with self-esteem issues. Most of them will do anything to fit in, even if it means betraying their closest friends. Some popular kids will even try to copy others' appearances or personalities just so they can be accepted by the group. So if you find yourself constantly changing who you are just to fit in, you might want to take a moment to look inward and figure out why you're redoing what you're redoing. Chances are that your self-esteem is taking quite the hit. 4. You seek validation from others. Similar to the last point, a lot of popular kids tend to seek a lot of their validation from other people. After all, that's how they got popular in the first place. They made sure to get everyone else to like them. But while this might have worked for them back when they were in school, it can cause a lot of problems later in life. When you become an adult, it's natural to want to get validation from other people. After all, we're social creatures, and our brains are wired for social acceptance. But if you base your self-worth on other people's opinions, you're bound to have some serious self-esteem issues later on. 5. You can't control your emotions. Ever heard of the fight or flight response? Well, this is something that a lot of popular kids have an issue with. Because being popular comes with its fair share of problems, popular kids learn how to fight or flight at a very young age. They either confront those who oppose them, or they avoid them completely. Either way, they learn to control their emotions at a young age. While this might seem like a good thing, it can cause a lot of problems later on in life. Being able to control your emotions is a very useful tool, but it can easily be abused. Many popular kids end up suppressing their emotions instead of actually dealing with them, which can lead to all sorts of mental health problems later on. 6. You're selfish. There's no other way to put this. A lot of popular kids are selfish. They only do things that benefit them, and they're not afraid to step on others in order to get what they want. This is because they're only focused on themselves. They don't care about how their actions affect other people, and they'll do whatever it takes to get what they want. Now, this doesn't mean that all popular kids are bad people, but it does mean that they're not the best at considering other people's feelings. And number 7, you talk too much. Let's be honest, most popular kids are talkers. They love to talk about themselves, and they don't always consider how their words might affect other people. A lot of popular kids have been known to gossip, spread rumors, and talk down about others behind their backs. And while this might have worked for them in school, it can definitely come back to bite them later on in life. Talking too much is a sign of immaturity, and it can easily make you lose friends. So do you relate to any of the things we've mentioned here? If you were the popular kid in school, it's possible that you developed some of these habits. And while they might have worked for you back in the day, they can definitely cause some problems later on in life. But that's why it's important to be aware of them. By being aware of these toxic habits, you can work on changing them and becoming a better person. Before you go, we want to make something clear. We aren't trying to bash popular kids. We understand that they might have developed these habits because of their environment. But we do think that it's important to be aware of them. If you're a popular kid, chances are that you're not even aware that you're doing anything wrong. You probably think that you're just being yourself. But by being aware of these toxic habits, you can work on changing them and becoming a better person. Now go ahead and comment your thoughts below. What other toxic habits do you think popular kids develop? And do you have any tips for them? If you found this video helpful, like and share it with friends that might find insight in it too. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content. All the sources used are added in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Until next time.